Yeah, what's up? It is almost 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. We are live. Rick Kamla, Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We got the fantasy goodies for you. The biggest night of the regular season. 15 games, 30 teams, a bunch of spectacular individual performances, a candidate for the game of the year. We got Magic Men. We got top 5 must-add players. We got top 3 drops. We got buy low, sell high. We got it all going. We're going to categorize the night. We got injury news. It's going to be an extravaganza. You're in the right spot with Cam and Doc. Before we dive in with our Magic Man, I want to tell you about BetOnline. They are the world's most trusted betting platform. BetOnline is your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, no sweat. BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds in everything from the NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, yo, the game starts here. Our late night wrap-ups, Doc, start with the Magic Man, and they start with yours first. Who you got here on this massive Wednesday night?
I wanted to go Obi Toppin because you predicted a big game from Obi Toppin. He gave us a dud against the Knicks, his former team, and then he came out on Wednesday night and went ballistic with 31-8 for the Pacers. But there was just too much other good stuff going on. I'm going with Jamal Murray. He hit 20 of 36 shots, 7 triples, 55 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals. The 55 is a career high. He did that in a game where Jokic went for 26, 15, and 10. And really, the Nuggets needed everything those guys gave them because they only beat Portland by 11. The spread was 10.5, at least the spread I got. So big day for Jamal Murray, career day.
Dang. Dude, I've got Jamal Murray in the Cam Dynasty, and I activated him for this game, and I get 55 from him. But that pesky Eric Seitz in the Cam Dynasty, man, we are tied 4-4 right now, heading into Thursday in an extended 2-week arrangement here over the All-Star break. I had a 5-2-1 lead heading into tonight. Man, I figured with Murray exploding for a 55, a double nickel Jordan style, by the way, my age, that I'd be maybe a little advanced, a little bit ahead. I'm not. I'm in a meat grinder here. All right, good call, Doc. All right, my Magic Man here tonight. I've got 3. Doc, I will say this. This is the hardest decision that I've faced all year for my Magic Man. It is the hardest. Kyrie went off. Ahmed had a triple-double. I could go on. There's like a bunch of huge performances tonight. But, Doc, I want to go to Madison Square Garden, okay? The New York Knicks beat the Atlanta Hawks in an absolute thriller/classic. It came down to a George Niang corner 3 for the win, and he left it short. Kind of choked on it a little bit, actually. Brunson hit the game winner on a double crossover against Dyson Daniels, and then just kind of slammed on the brakes and just popped the shot over him, actually left-handed, popped the shot over him. And it was just vintage Brunson, just being so crafty. And Brunson against Daniels. Jalen Brunson should not be able to dominate a game against Dyson Daniels, right? Physically. He's small. He can't get off the floor. But he's got that Chauncey Billups old man game, dude. All the crafty, all the pump fakes, all the little nuances, the angles, right? He's so fucking smart. So Jalen Brunson goes for 36, 8 assists, 3 threes. Hits the game-winning shot in overtime, right? Karl Anthony Towns, 44, 10, and 3 with 2 steals. Trae Young, at one point, it was so cool. Kenny Albert was on the call, and I love Mike Breen. Come on, bang! Come on, who doesn't love Mike Breen? He's the man. But I'm a Kenny Albert guy as well, especially on the NFL, right? I love it. Da-da-da-da-da-da, right on Fox. You get the Giants, Eagles. It's a Kenny Albert game. I love that guy, okay? So when he fills in with Walt Clyde on Knicks games, I dig it. I'm a Kenny Albert fan, man. Got a great voice, his cadence. I love it. I'm into it. And he brought up Trae Young in overtime, had 36 points and 19 assists. Those numbers should reverberate with you NBA historians. While Clyde Frazier in Game 7 of the 1970 Finals against the Lakers had 36 and 19. And Kenny Albert brought that up. And then Trae Young added one more bucket to have 38 and 19, right? By the way, that was the Willis Reed game, Doc, where he came out with the ruptured quad or whatever it was and hit a couple of buckets. And so while Clyde said after the game, Willis Reed provided the inspiration, I provided the devastation. He said that after going 36 and 19 in Game 7 against Wilt and the Lakers in 1970. That's as good as it gets, dude. I love all that old-timey stuff.
It's awesome. And the Hawks.
So Trae Young, Cat, and Brunson. It's a 3-pack of – Doc, did I mention – I'm sorry, dude. That's the highest scoring game of the entire year. The Hawks and Knicks. It's the highest scoring game. They tilted the machine like no other teams have. The box score is a work of art. Go ahead, dude.
Well, the Hawks were down 6 with like 11 seconds left. I think they scored 6 points in 9 seconds to get back in that game. So a lot of big plays were made by both teams. It was fun to watch. Trae shines in New York, man. He just does.
Sure does, man. Sure does. All right, Doc. So our Magic men are displayed here. Now, let's get into our must-adds of the night, and we may be talking a little bit more about that Knicks and Hawks game. But, Doc, you go first, man. Who are your top 5 must-adds from the biggest night of the regular season?
Torrey Eason, if he's available in your league, his stat line, you've probably already seen it, but I feel like Amen Thompson is rostered everywhere, but our guy Torrey Eason is sometimes floating around on waiver wires. And he had the game of his life tonight with 25, 9 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 threes, hit 11 of 16 shots. Big win over Phoenix. So I thought he was amazing. Quentin Grimes is starting for the Philadelphia 76ers now. Paul George has given up even trying at basketball, I think. He was
But not his podcast,
horrible.
right? He still goes for it on his podcast, doesn't he?
He's uploading a lot of video clips to his podcast. But Quentin Grimes has suddenly slid into a starting job in Philly, and he's playing very well. What did he do? What was his line tonight?
I got it right here. 30, 39, and 4 with a block, 2 steals, and 4 threes.
Yeah, that's money.
I mean, damn.
Donovan Clingan. Remember DeAndre Ayton? And it said calf injury next to his name. That's bad. He's going to be out for a while. Rick thinks he's done for the season. Would not surprise me if that's the case. I think we told you all to pick him up yesterday. 17 points, 20 rebounds, 3 blocks. Money. Clingan was awesome against Nikola Jokic. And then Bol has not gone away. He survived to live another day. That rhymed. That was not planned. 7 of 18 shots, 15 points, 4 boards, a steal, 2 blocks, and a 3. Nothing crazy, but it's enough that if you picked him up or if you were thinking about picking him up, you're going to hang on to him, I think. So Bol, and then who was number 5? And then I think some combination of Dylan Brooks and Klay Thompson and Max Christie would be my 5th guy. I like all 3 of them. What are you laughing at?
I'm just in a good mood, dude. But I just Max, Clay, and who is that? Third guy?
Brooks.
Oh, Brooks.
Christie and Clay.
I understand.
Dylan Brooks, Max Christie, and Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson looks like he's back. Like now that Luke is gone and Klay knows he has to play well every night, he's sort of like Kyrie's right-hand man now, and he looks better to me.
I agree with that. I mean, it's still in the teens, right? It's not like he's living in the 20s or anything like that, so it's kind of low-key, but I understand what you're saying. I'm mad at you, bro. So, Doc, he went with Eason. By the way, I looked it up. Eason is rostered in 41% of leagues in Yahoo, and I was really surprised by that. I figured he'd be 65 or something like that. 41% for Tari Eason. Very surprised by that. Quentin Grimes, Donovan Clingan, Bol, and the 3-pack of Max Christie, Klay Thompson, and Dylan Brooks. Okay. I have Bol on my list, so I won't, I guess, belabor the point. I just want to echo the fact that, bro, our boy Bol took 18 shots tonight, bro. If Booker was out, right? But Beal was out, but our boy took 18 shots. Our boy let it fly, man. Bol was out there catapulting shots at the rim.
And Nick Richards had a good game. Like, they can coexist.
He did. And then Nick Richards will go away for the next 3 games. Donovan Clingan, guys, is a league winner. I don't know how else to describe it. Doc, look, we're stoked about Bub Carrington, Matus Buzelis, Keyshawn George, right? Okay, like, are these guys league winners? I think they're really, really, really good pickups, right? Bro, Donovan Clingan, you are parachuting into your lineup 17 and 20 with 3 blocks. Come on, man. Like, he's good to go, Doc. For the next 2 months, it's the Donovan Clingan show in Portland.
If he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, I think Ayton's done for the year, okay? He's going to get a re-evaluation in 4 weeks. That doesn't mean he's coming back in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. In 4 weeks after the eval, even if they green light him, that's still 2 weeks out from him playing, or at least a week out from him playing. Now we're at like the semifinals or championship round, right? Come on. Ayton's virtually done. I'm not telling you to drop him, okay? Wait for him to hit INJ and move him over there, okay? But Clingan's good to go. So the guys that I want to bring up that you did not bring up, Doc, I want to go to the Hawks here real quick, okay? Karis LeVert here with Larry Nance Jr. out 6+ weeks. Karis LeVert and Vit Krejci is out 3 to 4 weeks, okay? I'm going to tell you here about Karis LeVert and George Niang. Karis LeVert is a phenomenal pickup right now, guys. He went 20 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks, no steals, 2 threes. Okay. Karis LeVert is a very talented guy. He's a PRA machine when he gets the right minutes and the right usage rate, and he's there right now. George Niang, Doc. Okay. Now Quinn Snyder doesn't have a choice. Remember the Saturday night where he started, came off the bench in the next game, had like 8 and 4. Okay. And whether he's starting or coming off the bench, I frankly don't care. George Niang is guaranteed of 25 to 30 minutes a night right now with how shorthanded the Hawks are. So tonight, Doc, he had 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 4 threes. Karis LeVert and George Niang aren't just good pickups right now. They're sexy pickups. I'm very, very excited about the prospects here with Nance and Vit being ruled out for as long as they've been ruled out. Jose Alvarado, Doc. Jose, as they say down in New Orleans, okay? Doc, I've been chirping about Jose Alvarado for a week, and he has not been backing up the touting of your boy Cam. Tonight he did. 18 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, 3 threes. That is a Jose Alvarado game. That is the template that I think we're going to use here going forward. Get him off of waivers. Herb Jones out for the year. DeJounte Murray out for 1 million games. Zion Williamson's about to get shut down. Okay. Jose Alvarado's about to take over this piece. All right. So Jose Alvarado. And then, Doc, you know what? I'm going to go in a direction that I did not previously plan, but I'm going to go here now. Okay. I want to talk about a man named Alex Sarr. Remember him? 2nd overall pick in the draft. Alex Sarr came back and played basketball tonight, Doc. Okay. Missed, 7 games or whatever it was, a couple of weeks. He had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 2 threes. All right. I love Alex Sarr's fantasy profile. Box score loves Alex Sarr. And they're going to play Alex Sarr down the stretch, Doc. They have no reason not to. They need to develop him, and they're going to play him. He's going to get 25 to 30 minutes a night. I bet you Alex Sarr is on waivers in your league, and I would go pick him up. And then, Doc, who do I want to go to last here? Is
I
it
tell you
Keon
what,
Ellis? Is it Keon Ellis? Because I couldn't read my own handwriting, and I was supposed to say Keon instead of those three guys at the end.
Oh, so now it's four guys at the end. So now it's
No, you can cross the guys off at the end. I mean, they're a decent pickups, but I'd rather have Keon.
Okay. And then I mean, I got some other guys written down here. Castle had another 20-point game, but we've talked a lot about him. Osar Thompson, 19, 5 and 7 tonight. We've talked a lot about him. Like, you know what I mean, duh, go pick him up. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about DeAndre Hunter here real quick, Doc. We are breaking down, by the way, on the Fantasy NBA today, Sports Ethos After Dark, Cam and Doc, the biggest night of the regular season. Doc, DeAndre Hunter tonight came off the bench for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Max Strus started with the core four and played well. 14 points with goodies, Max Strus line. DeAndre Hunter, Doc, off the bench, did for this game, pardon me, exactly what he was doing with the Atlanta Hawks. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 threes, efficient shooting in 27 minutes. I said that DeAndre Hunter is a drop. I'm still with that because I still don't like the lack of blocks and steals, and I still don't like the minimal three ball action from him. I also don't like the lack of PRA. Okay. He doesn't fit my fantasy profile. If you're obsessed and you're super nerdy with percentages, then DeAndre Hunter's your guy. I'm the exact opposite. I'm a counting numbers guy, not a ratios guy. And I'm that way in baseball too. And so it's been a very proven formula for me to win championships that way. But Doc, so talk to me about DeAndre Hunter. Are you leaving him on the waiver wire or are you picking him up?
You know, I thought he was going to fall out of the 6-man race and kind of go away. I thought he was going to make Cleveland better in real life, but I didn't think he was going to contribute as much there as he was in Atlanta. Maybe we're wrong. It's a short sample size. Let's see what happens after the break. But I mean, I think if you had DeAndre Hunter before the trade, you probably still have him. I don't know that people just dropped him, but hopefully I'm not breaking up because my internet is very shaky right now. But anyway, if I've got DeAndre Hunter, I'm holding on to him, and if I don't have him and he's on the waiver wire in your league, then I'm picking him up.
Yeah, Doc is breaking up a little bit here, but Doc, we'll press on as long as we can get you. He's in Dahlonega, northern Georgia, and it's raining cats and dogs, has been for like a whole day straight. So he's got some weather issues and maybe some satellite issues. We hope we can keep him with us here. But where I'm at with DeAndre Hunter, I'm leaving him on waivers. As I said, I just can't. I just can't get with it right now. All right, so we move on now on the Fantasy NBA. Rick Kamla and Hall of Famer Steve Alexander with our top 3 drops. Doc, you appear to still be good with us here right now. So who are your top 3 drops from this 15-game Wednesday night?
Try to read this correctly this time. I don't know that you have to go drop him right now, but I think this was the last stand for Precious Achiuwa. OG Anunoby did not play. Achiuwa had another good game. Rick, do you have his line by chance?
I do. 26 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. He was fantastic.
So I'm cheating here. I'm not telling you to go drop Achiuwa. I'm telling you to be ready to drop Achiuwa if OG comes back after the break and starts going off again, because that's going to hurt Achiuwa a lot. On the other side, Achiuwa may have endeared himself to Tom Thibodeau during this, and Thibodeau will find a way to keep getting him run. So it's just a be ready to drop situation. If anyone is still holding on to Alex Caruso, he got hurt tonight. Cut him. He's been terrible all year. It's not been fun. Jalen Smith, if Miles Turner is coming back next week, Jalen Smith is going to be a drop. I think DeAndre Ayton, like Rick said, he's probably out for a year. If I have Ayton on my team, I'm cutting him. I'm not even waiting. Not even waiting. And then Brandon Ingram, Toronto came out today and said, we don't even know if he's going to play this season. We're taking it 2 weeks at a time. No, thank you. Moving on.
$3 years and $120 million. And he might not play for Toronto the rest of the year. Can you please help me understand how, why, what? I mean, I get the free agent acquisition. Toronto doesn't get free agents. I mean, I said this on the deadline show. It's absolutely god-awful GMing. What is going on in the front offices around the NBA? The Luka trade, the Raptors paying Brandon Ingram. Dude, they're bidding against yourself is the cardinal sin of a front office. You don't bid against yourself. Utah bid against themselves with Rudy Gobert, hated the contract, traded him soon after. Atlanta bid against themselves on the John Collins contract, hated it immediately after signing him, trade rumor after trade rumor, moved him on to Utah. This is god-awful. It's not even close. Sorry, Raptors fans. All right, let me get into 3 drops here, Doc. Brandon Ingram triggers me in a variety of ways. A couple of reminders here. Andrew Nebhard and Tim Hardaway Jr. Drop them. They're not my guys, okay? But they sucked again tonight. Nebhard, 9, 3, and 4 in 28 minutes. Thank God I dropped him for Bull on Tuesday night. Tim Hardaway Jr., 5 points in 25 minutes. Bro, our guy's washed, okay? Tim Hardaway Jr. stinks now. All right, now here's the guys based on developments tonight. KJ Simpson, bye-bye. And he was the point guard for Charlotte, right, with LaMelo Ball out. Well, Elfrid Payton got a lot of run tonight. I know, it's like, whoa. So he's a deep league guy, KJ Simpson, okay? So you can go ahead and send it. I mean, if they're not even going to play him, if Elfrid Payton's going to usurp him, then it's just a no. Doc, we got to send Keldon Johnson to waivers, man. Over the last week, he's at 4.8 points per game and 9.6 points per game over the last month. There's no reason to keep Keldon Johnson on your basketball team anymore, okay? And then you have, I guess I got 2 other guys here. Rashawn Holmes, Doc, because Alex Sarr came back tonight. If you are in a deeper league, tonight, Rashawn Holmes, 5.7 rebounds, 2 blocks. If you're in a 20-team league and you want to keep Rashawn Holmes, go ahead. And your guy, Vukcevic, who you've been bringing up lately, he didn't even play tonight. So you can send him. And then, Doc, our guy, Keon Johnson. Okay, I'm sending him back to waivers with love and a see you soon. You see what I'm saying? Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, and D'Angelo Russell, they are keeping Keon Johnson from doing anything over the last 2 or 3 games. I can't do it, okay? Keon Johnson had a dreadful game on Wednesday night. And so to me, he's a waiver wire guy or a streamer on a light night. And then when they shut all their guys down, immediately pounce on Keon Johnson. And we will be here on Fantasy NBA telling you when and how to do that. Andre Lamouche is asking a good question here as we're on the drop category of our 15-game Wednesday night breakdown. Is Diabate a drop right now? And Andre, I would ask you this. Unless all I know right now is that Diabate with the eye abrasion missed the Wednesday night game. Okay. I have not heard anything about he's going to be reevaluated in a week or 2 or anything like that. So, and he's saying correct. Okay. So I'm not dropping Diabate, Doc, because look, Nurkic was in a Charlotte Hornets uniform, available to play, and not playing behind both Diabate and Taj Gibson. Okay. Was it because he didn't know the plays? Again, I'm not buying that. All right. I believe that when Diabate is healthy, he is going to be prioritized at that center position. Taj Gibson, the old pro, is going to play a little backup. And I have a feeling Nurkic is going to go back to Clint Capella mode and on the curb. All right. That's just my view on it. So no, I would not drop Diabate.
I'm not dropping him. I've got him. I had him on the bench in several leagues with a full slate tonight. We get a week off for him, his eye to heal. I think they look at him as the future. They look at Nurkic as a backup to him. I think Diabate is the guy. And then, Rick, I've got a question for you. Man, my internet is shaky. Did you see what Yabu Saley did today for Philadelphia?
He's on my list of most disappointing performances of the night. Yes.
So, if you noticed, Andre Drummond played in that game, and Andre Drummond did stuff. So I'm not saying to drop Yabu because I don't think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for him down the line, but I think you could look at his play lately and it's cooled off. People probably want to cut Yabu. I'm not going to drop him.
I think Yabu needs a break, Doc. Like we've talked about with some of these guys that are limping to the All-Star break here. Khalil Ware in Miami. Yabu's never played this many minutes in the NBA. He's never been counted on like this. And he's been over in the Euro League and he's been, a big-time player over there and stuff like that. But their games are spread out a little bit more than they are over here in the NBA. And the NBA is, Andre's going to get mad at me and maybe disagree, but I would look at the NBA as maybe more rigorous than European basketball, the Euro League and the domestic leagues over there. Andre, please take me deep if you disagree with me on that. And I'm not saying it's like a blowout. I just think that the NBA is probably a little bit more grueling than the Spanish league and the French league and all that kind of stuff. Again, I am here to be proven wrong on that if that's the case. All right, Doc, let's move on here on the Fantasy NBA today. It's the OGs, man. Look, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. We're up. We're vibing. I got a Where's Walton shirt on here, okay? Shout out to the great Bill Walton up in heaven. Bill, I love you, man. I miss you every single day. Doc, top 3, buy low from Wednesday night slate.
I wrote these early in the night, so there may be better ones out there that I missed, but I'm just going to go with this. The Chicago Bulls guards, Kobe White and Josh Giddey. They've been incredibly disappointing for the last few games. And I think you were even more fired up than I was about Kobe White just going on a tear. And he hasn't done it. And I love
like 5 straight 20-point games. He was on that tear.
And now he just fell off a cliff. So I'm not sure what is happening. Hopefully he goes to Cancun, chills for a few days, comes back, and is ready to go because it's been a rough ride with them. Max Christie, I think, qualifies as a buy low in Dallas. And then Alpi Şengün. He was out with an injury. He's been kind of quiet. He had a good game tonight. But his owners might be worried about him down the stretch. You might be able to get him for a little less than you could have when he was balling out.
All right. Top 3 buy low for me right now through Wednesday night's work, this 15-game slate. I want to hit y'all with Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero. Look, Orlando has largely sucked lately. They've lost a million games. I think, just overall in the basketball world, people are looking at Orlando. There goes Orlando. They're Orlando again, right? And Paolo Banchero, Doc, since coming back from his injury, has not been good, right? Franz Wagner came back and immediately hitting us with 30. Paolo Banchero did not do that. But, Doc, Paolo Banchero's turned a corner here over the last week, okay? Wednesday night, 24, 8, and 6. That's a Paolo line. Previous game, 31, 6, and 4. That's a Paolo line. And this has been going on for about the last 5 games. Try to see if you can pluck Paolo Banchero from the manager that has him right now and get him for the stretch run. Because Suggs is probably going to be back after the All-Star break, after another week off, I hope. And then when Suggs comes back, the vibe's going to return to Orlando, and the whole thing's going to hum at a higher level, and that's going to help out Paolo. So I like him as a buy low guy. I like RJ Barrett as a buy low guy, Doc. I don't think Toronto's going to shut their guys down. I just don't. Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. Now, I'm not Quickly to me. All right, if you want to low dose somebody, you want to offer I don't know, Devin Vassell. He's just coming to mind here, okay? And see if somebody bites on that for Quickly. They probably won't. But something of that level, right? Like a low dough. Hey, let's try to just go ahead and steal Emmanuel quickly here. But RJ Barrett tonight, he missed the previous, I believe it was 5 games with a concussion, 27-4-4 with 3 steals and 2 threes. All right, RJ Barrett's been a PRA machine. That's points, rebounds, and assists, in case you don't know. A PRA machine this year. He's clearly the number 2 option behind Scotty Barnes. And in fact, Doc, you could argue that scoring-wise, there's a dueling top option thing between Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett. Okay, so now I think RJ Barrett's going to be good to go. 20 points with the PRA goodies here the rest of the way. I like him as a buy low now that he's back. And then I want to hit you with Jaden McDaniels, Doc. Again, I'm talking about a low dough 1-for-1 where you try to maybe send a bigger name to the guy that's got Jaden McDaniels and steal him, okay? Because, Doc, Jaden McDaniels has cooled off a little bit, but he hasn't cooled off in the defensive stats in the threes, right? The scoring has gone the last 5 games, 12, 12, 30, 10, 10, okay? I don't believe Julius Randle is going to be playing basketball anytime soon. I believe that Jaden McDaniels is going to continue to be a really, really valuable fantasy player. So try to go steal him. Make a low-key, like 1-for-1 to try to get Jaden McDaniels. So I got Paulo, I got Barrett, and I got McDaniels.
McDaniels got off to a rough start tonight too, like really rough first half. So his owners are probably like, he's been a little shaky since this Nas Reed thing happened with Julius Randle. So I don't know. I don't know if McDaniels is going to get back to the level he was at. I hope he does. I just ended a sentence with a proposition. I hope he does, but I don't know that it's going to happen. But I can dig that. I'm just worried Nas Reed is taking over everything in Minnesota right now.
So I just offer Zion Williamson for Paulo. Offer Zion Williamson for RJ Barrett. Offer Zion Williamson for Jaden McDaniels. I would do that all across the board. All those guys, because Zion's going to get shut down here soon. All right, Doc, give us 3 sell-high guys after we have consumed and evaluated and processed this 15-game voluminous NBA evening.
Well, Zion and Paul George are both ticking time bombs, so they don't even count. We've talked about them enough. I already told you about Precious Achua.
Hey,
if he's not a drop.
Quick. Doc, super quick. Can I just give Paul George's stat line tonight so you can vomit real quick?
Yes.
You all right with that?
Yes.
He had 2 points tonight. Dude, Draymond Green is laughing at Paul George's stat line. This is Paul George's stat line. 2 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 1 of 7 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. Dude, have you ever seen in your life a 2-6-4-3-2 5-cat stat line? That line doesn't make any sense, dude.
From a potential Hall of Famer.
Oh, he's not potential. He's a definite Hall of Famer. You think he's on the bubble?
I don't know, man. He's a journeyman. He sucks now. I don't know. I was done with him after his indie stint, but whatever. Yeah, Paul George looks like Paul George doesn't look like he cares about basketball.
Yo, let me ask you a question. Thought bubble. Do we have a bet here? Do we have a Moe's burrito?
No. You're a Hall of Fame guy. You've been there. You've hosted shows from there. You've been there. Hell, you might have been there when Michael Jordan got in. You might have been there when Dominique got in. I've never even been there. I'm a fantasy guy. I just pay attention to the here and now mostly. So if you tell me Paul George is a lock, I'm 100% behind you. I believe you.
So let me just look at this here real quick. His basketball monster Hall of Fame percentage is 97.9%, which is ridiculous. 9-time All-Star, 6 All-NBA, 4-time All-Defense, 1 an MIP. And how many total points does he have? PG is at 18,595. He will soon be over 20 grand. All right, Doc. Sorry, I just a little Paul George thing there. What? Okay, so your 3 sell high guys.
Bottom line is Paul George has been terrible, and the fact he's still playing tells me it's time to move on. Like sell him for whatever you can get. So the other ones, Precious Achua, because OG and Anunoby's coming back, and he won't be as good as he's been the last 10 days. Norm Powell, who's still putting up solid, like kind of poppy lines, like you see his 18 points and his 3 threes, and you're like, oh yeah, he's still balling out for me. But over the last 2 weeks, he's only been a top 150 guy in fantasy, a far cry from where he was before Kawhi Leonard came in and started kind of balling out. So I think Norm Powell, you could probably get something decent in return for Norm Powell. And then my last one, and this is tricky because he's been so good, but Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook is coming back after the break. And that makes me nervous about Christian Brown. Christian Brown still has a role. He's still going to be a decent fantasy player. He just may not be the great one that he's been for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I love the Christian Brown call. Here's the other thing with Christian Brown, Doc. He doesn't hit 3 balls ever. That's a problem. You know, it's 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 2 steals. Like, these stat lines are good, man. They are. I like Christian Brown. Very good player in reality. He's a dog, very athletic, better defensive player than he gets credit for. And just in fantasy, like if you're like a bagel in the 3-point column at a wing position, that doesn't work for me, man. So I'm with that. All right, Doc, Devin Vassell. Time to sell high with Devin Vassell. We thought that De'Aaron Fox going to San Antonio was going to create a problem for Devin Vassell. The third guy in a big 3 rarely eats, okay? Talk to Kevin Love, talk to Chris Bosh, talk to a lot of these guys. And, you know, they were champions, but their stats took a major hit, I should say. Devin Vassell over the last 2 games. These are his totals, not his averages. 15, 5, and 4. 2 threes in 62 minutes. He's just not getting the rock. He's just not getting scoring opportunities, Doc. And he's not getting other. And you know how it is, Doc, when you're scoring and you're patting the ball and you're moving the ball and shooting the ball, it leads to blocks, steals, rebounds, assists because you've got the ball, right? When you're not on the ball, a lot of that's, you know, they say energy finds the ball. So if you're not the energy, the ball doesn't find you and you don't get the goodies. Devin Vassell is in that trap right now. See if you can sell high with him. I mean, offer Devin Vassell for Jaden McDaniels. See if you can pull that off. Offer Devin Vassell for RJ Barrett. See if you can pull that off. The Spurs are sexy. They've got Wemby and Fox. See if you can play to that. Miles Bridges, Doc. I am like squeamish and nervous about Miles Bridges. All right. Charlotte is caved in. They are gutted right now, dude. The injuries, right? And they keep hitting him. Diabate got hurt, and LaMelo just got hurt. And, dude, try to get out on Miles Bridges right now. Over the last 2 games, he's gone 7 points and 19 points, okay? I just don't trust it. I think his last hurrah of the year, Doc, was Friday when he hit the game winner out of the corner against San Antonio. I think that was like the boom. I'm not sure we're going to hear a whole lot from Miles Bridges the rest of the way. And then my last sell high guy involving really the entire league, it's a 15-game night tonight, is Malik Monk. So, again, it's not a fire sale. Like Malik Monk would be a guy, I might hit the Paolo Banchero owner with a Malik Monk offer because Malik Monk has been really, frankly, pretty awesome here. But, Doc, tonight, 17, 4, and 4. Solid, but you know, it's 17, 4, and 4. I'm not that geeked about that. Shot 6 of 14. His numbers, and we've talked about this week, his numbers have taken a noticeable decline since Zach LaVine went out there. And you've got, obviously, Sabonis and DeRozan and Keegan and Keon, okay? So you got a lot of guys right there. But it's eating into Malik Monk's production. So I think he's a good sell high guy right now. Devin Vassell, Miles Bridges, and Malik Monk, bro.
Yeah, I feel like Stephon Castle is getting the ball more than Vassell. And, you know,
I agree.
Vassell's a good player. And it's only been a few games since Fox has been there. I don't know if I'm ready to pull the plug on Vassell. Like, don't cut him. But Yeah, he's definitely somebody who's trending down for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to download the SportsEthos app. Get elite fantasy tools and real-time updates for NBA, MLB, and NFL. Go to your favorite app store, download the SportsEthos app. It's completely free and it's completely awesome. All right, Doc, let's get into here some rotational stuff and I tell you what, let's hit some of these injuries, dude. And then we'll get into some rotational stuff. Like injuries, breaking news, that kind of thing. We've talked about DeAndre Ayton. Calf will miss the next 4 weeks. Brandon Ingram without a timetable to return. I'll circle back to that in a minute. Let me go to Andre's email here. Shout out to our great producer, Andre Lemouche. The guy is on it.
So Jackson Hayes got hurt tonight. Facial contusion. I imagine they're just going to slap a face mask on him and keep running him out there. But it does make Alex Len intriguing, I guess.
Like, as we say in our preview shows, a situation or player to watch, right? Like, yeah, that's where that's at to me. I'm not actioning on Alex Len right now. In 30 deep, maybe. But then I got to drop one of my guys, and I don't want to drop Svi Mikhailuk. I don't want to drop Justin Champagnie. I don't want to drop Marcus Sasser. It's a 30-team league. I don't want to drop Isaiah Joe. And these are my bench guys. I don't want to drop them.
He's not available. There's no way he's available in 30 deep.
I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. 30 deep is 30 industry guys. We've been doing this for about 20 years or whatever. And Doc is a 2-time champion. So, okay. I think Jackson Hayes is going to be fine after the break, Doc. I really do. I think they'll slap a face mask on him. If there's some kind of fracture, I think he's going to be okay. All right, let's kind of bounce around into some of the. Let's go back to Brandon Ingram for a second. Darko Rajakovic said he's not even sure if Ingram will play this season, reevaluated in 2-week intervals. So, look, that tells me that Ingram isn't going to play. I don't know why they paid him. I think it's completely stupid. But, Doc, that is great news for RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Emmanuel Quickly. And I don't think they're going to shut them down. I just don't. They might not play in back-to-backs, right? They may get cute with back-to-backs, but I don't think they're just going to shut them down. Because, Doc, I just know how that team operates, and I know that the fan base does not want to show up to that arena every night and watch Mogbo and Shed and all these guys. And I don't think Toronto's going to do their fan base like that. I just know. They're losing even with their guys, and I don't see them shutting their guys down. So, Doc, I was making the point, Brandon Ingram probably isn't going to play this year, okay? We need to, brace ourselves for that reality. We can complain about it as much as we want. But it's fantastic news for Quickly, Barrett, and Barnes. You know what I mean? All three of those guys should get their numbers here moving forward. And I just made the point, Doc, that I believe that Toronto's going to keep playing their guys. Okay. I think Quickly, Barrett, and Barnes are going to play. I don't fear a shutdown like with the Utah Jazz or with Poole with Washington. I don't fear it that way. I think Toronto's going to try to, and Doc, I think it's for their fan base. I really do. I think the Toronto Raptors don't want to do their fan base like that. They don't want Utah. Utah hates their fan base, obviously. They don't give a damn about their fan. I mean, Mike and Potter, nobody wants to go watch Micah Potter, okay? So I think Toronto's going to put their guys out there for their fan base.
I think you're probably right. And it's funny that you talked about my guy, Miles Bridges. No. Yeah. Miles Bridges in Charlotte. Because we talked about him, Brewski and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and we kind of agreed that while it was shaky, we kind of thought that they would just keep playing him the rest of the way. And I felt better about having him. He's one of my key players on my 30-team league. And now you're like, they may just shut him down. He may have had his swan song already. And it's true. I don't feel great about it. So you should definitely try to trade Bridges over the All-Star break. Maybe he plays it out, but I don't know. But it just kind of reminds me of Toronto. Toronto's got more guys they can play without, Charlotte just has one guy left to shut down, and that's Miles Bridges.
Yeah, and if there was like Barrett was the last man standing, maybe Toronto makes that decision, but they got 3 guys. I don't think they're going to shut their guys down. All right, let's get to some of these other injury updates here. Ja Morant, I'm so done with you. I'm so done with you. I'm so freaking done with you. Never, ever, ever will I do business with Ja Morant again in fantasy basketball. It will never happen. Promise you that. You say, you should never say always and never. Yeah, like in a relationship, you should never say always and never. Although somebody very close to me loved using those 2 words. Anyway, but Ja Morant, Doc, out again tonight. It's so frustrating. Patrick Williams, right knee, out for the remainder of the game tonight. Giddy up, Matas
Buzelis has been struggling lately. He struggled again tonight, but I'm still hanging in there with him. I'm not dropping Matas Buzelis. Your slam dunk champion this Saturday.
We will get to that on Thursday night. Couple of updates here on Dallas. PJ Washington out tonight and on Thursday. Jason Kidd said he hopes he will return after the All-Star break. I don't like to hear that because the word hope means they have no freaking clue. Daniel Gafford, according to Tim McMahon on the Hoop Collective, said the Mavs don't expect him to be out for too many games. The problem with that is I can't really buy anything that the Mavericks say right now after the Luka trade thing. So let's move on here but anyway, obviously you're not going to drop these guys. And I guess that's encouraging on Daniel Gafford. Whereas maybe we were fearing, oh my God, when is he going to come back? I mean, maybe he's on only 2 weeks now. I don't know. But Michael Malone said about Russell Westbrook, Doc, expected to be good to go after the All-Star break. And I would imagine that he's going to be back out there for Denver. And that kind of goes back to what you were talking about with Christian Brown a little bit. We'll get Doc back here in a second. Couple other of these injury updates. Ty Jerome missed tonight's game against the Raptors with a calf injury. Probably just a rest scenario. He's been playing a lot, but he'll have the All-Star break to get right, even if it's like, kind of a significant thing. Guys, I don't think Clint Capella is going to play the rest of the way. I don't. And I'm a Clint Capella guy, have been for a long time. I still have him in the Cam Dynasty. I have severed ties with Chris Middleton. He was on my injured spot, but I got backed into a corner, had to make a move. I've cut Chris Middleton. I hated doing it. And so Clint Capella, like these old heads, right? We've been, they've been paying the fantasy bills for so long, and it's hard to let go of the past and realize the present that's before us. He was inactive tonight in New York. Coach Quinn Snyder says he's ramping up and will continue through the All-Star break. I mean, that's a bunch of just spinny, fluffy crap. Ramping up. I mean, give me a break. They've curbed him. Okay? They've completely curbed him. He's not going to play. He's no longer in the plan for the Atlanta Hawks. They weren't able to trade him. They have not negotiated a buyout. The Lakers have moved on to Alex Lynn. All right. So Capella to the Lakers probably ain't going to happen. I mean, if you're in a situation where you need to drop Clint Capella, go ahead. Go ahead, guys. Scoot Henderson out Wednesday, will not participate in the Rising Stars event during All-Star break. So hopefully we can get Scoot back after the All-Star break. And Tyrese Maxey was out tonight as well. All right. It is Rick Kamla, and it was Dr. A. Dr. A is back. Dr. Ray. Dr. Ray
also
is back.
I made the mistake of leaving a Kongwu on my bench today because there's such a full slate, and he's hit or miss kind of. But if Capella's going to be out and working on his conditioning, yada yada yada, if he's out, you play Onyeka Okongwu.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. So, Doc, let's get into our stud and dud awards for the night. All right. Andre Lemouche, our fantastic producer, does a computation here. It's very stat related, very non-emotional. And so it's just like he crunches the numbers very analytically. It comes up with our studs and duds of the night. The number one stud of the night, according to Andre Doc, is Jamal Murray. Okay, 55, 4 and 5, 2 steals and 7 threes. Number 2, Karl Anthony Towns, 44, 10 and 3, 2 steals, 7 bombs. And Jordan Poole has not powered down yet. 42, 5 and 5, 2 steals, 1 block, and 6 threes. And Doc, that doesn't include Brunson, Trey, Amen. I mean, dude, this was a badass night in the NBA, man. So anybody that you want to shout out in terms of these studs of the night here, anybody you want to shout out other than the 3-pack that I just mentioned right there?
Oh, I didn't prepare to do that. So off the top of my head and the fact my internet stinks, I'm going to go with no. I mean, the Amen Thompson, he had a triple-double, right?
That is correct.
And then Tari Eason, those two doing what they did in the same game. And Şengün also had a big game for Houston, and they got a win. Like, I love the Rockets, man. So shout out to the Rockets. And Jordan Poole. Like, is Jordan Poole going to get shut down? Like, we know Jamal Murray's not. We know Karl Anthony Towns is not. Is Poole the ultimate sell high guy right now?
Yes. And I believe Walker Kessler is as well. There is a chance that these guys play. I don't think there's a chance that Lauri Markkanen finishes the season. I do think there's a chance that Walker Kessler and Jordan Poole finish out the season. A chance. I think there's a chance that Miles Bridges finishes out the season. Okay. But I'm squeamish on Miles Bridges right now. I'm not as squeamish on Jordan Poole because, Doc, Washington's in the catbird seat for Cooper Flagg right now with Jordan Poole playing, and they lose every game anyway. So I would be looking to sell high with Jordan Poole, but if you're out there and you can't trade him, buckle up and hope for the best. What can I say?
Hey, who are our top waiver wire performers of the evening?
Well, hold on. Can I give a shout out to a couple guys that we didn't mention? You're just steamrolling right over me.
You're writing a new format. That's fine. You do you, bro. You're in a great mood. You want to talk about more players? Go. Do it.
I love my boy Doc, man.
I'm trying to keep us on track, bro.
Doc, I want to shout out guys who came back from injury or illness tonight when they could have just said Cancun, okay? Tyler Hero came back, questionable illness, played against OKC. CJ McCollum came back tonight, Doc, with the personal thing and played. RJ Barrett came back tonight after missing 5 games and played. Alpi Şengün came back and played tonight, okay? Like, I love the guys that want to play. It shows love of the game. Those are my guys, okay? Like the guys that, I'll see, like Ja Morant, right? Yeah, I'll see after the All-Star break. My boy is already in Cancun right now. You know that, dude. He's already in Cabo. Ja's already in Cabo. He's not with the Grizzlies right now. So shout out to the guys that love this game and have to play. All right, wanted to get that off my chest. Now, Doc, as you said, top 3 waiver wire producers tonight, and we got to go to Andre's list first here. Not creating my own format, as you said. This is my boy right here. We bust balls. It's what we do. Number 1, Keon Ellis with a bullet. Doc, 27 points, 7 threes, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Dude, he's one of the best fantasy gold guys in the league. Fantasy gold is block, steals, and threes, my favorite categories of all. Obi Toppin is number 2, 31 and 10, 6 bombs. And Chris Dunn? Really? 14, 3 and 5, 5 steals and 4 threes. 2% rostered. Obi is 6% rostered, and I don't know what Keon Ellis' rostered percentage is. But any other waiver wire performances you want to shout out here, Doc, or any comments you want to make on these 3 guys? Hello? Is Doc frozen? Doc's frozen. Okay, that sucks. So I want to shout out Thomas Bryant. We've been talking about Thomas Bryant here with Miles Turner out. Thomas Bryant is an automatic activation when Miles Turner is out. Thomas Bryant wasn't great tonight, folks, but he was solid. 9 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. So I thought he was really good off the waiver wire. And then, Doc, are you with me? Can you hear me?
I can, yes. Well, I could.
All right, cool. I just want to make sure your connection's good. Bro, your boy Corey Kispert fired off the bench tonight with 21 with 5 threes, man. He's been playing well, dude.
Bub played good too. I love it. My boys, Bub and Kispert.
Dude, I'm glad you brought up Bub. Let's talk about Bub for just a quick second here. Tonight, he went 18, 8, and 5. 18, 8, and 5. We told you he's a PRA machine with 1 block and 2 steals and 4 threes. Dude, Malcolm Brogdon picked up an injury tonight, Doc. Okay? And he's been backing up Bub. So Marcus Smart's not in the equation. Chris Middleton's not in the equation. Bro, Bub Carrington, baby. Dude, Bub's going to be putting up big old stat lines down the stretch here, Doc. Well, league winner.
I mean, we've been saying it. I've been saying it all year. Like silly season hero in the making. I thought it was him and Scoot, but Scoot isn't really a silly season hero as much as he was after that big winning streak Portland went on. But now they're shutting everybody down. So I don't know. I don't even know what to make of well, they didn't not shutting people down, but DeAndre Ayton leaving hurts them. But then again, Klingon is there. I guess it all hinges on Jeremy Grant. Are they going to play Jeremy Grant all the way through the end of the season? I don't know.
At this point, I would say no. Bub Carrington or Keyshawn George, both around waivers. Who are you picking up?
Oh, well, I've got both of them on most of my teams, so it's a tough question. I played both of them in FanDuel tonight. So that's a hard question. I'm going Bub.
I'm going Bub too. I love them both. I've got a lot of investment in both, but I'm going Bub because I tend to go point guards. They got the ball in their hands and they just tend to get good. It's like going with a running back over a wide receiver. I'll always go with a running back who's going to get the 20 carries over a wide receiver who might get 12 targets or 5. So that's just kind of how I rock there. It's all about volume. All right, Doc, with a couple of minutes left here, let's talk about the 3 most disappointing players of the night. Number 1, Zach Edey. Ouch, babe. Wow, 71% rostered, 4-5, and a bunch of bagels. Bilal Coulibaly, where was your game tonight? 3, 5, and 8, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 1 3, 55% rostered. And CJ McCollum, pretty garbagey tonight, 14, 3, and 3, no fantasy gold at all, 92% rostered. Any other disappointing performances you want to point out here, Doc?
Kobe White was awful. Yabu was quiet with the return of Andre Drummond.
Who else? I'm sorry, I was laughing.
Yabu Saley.
Yeah.
Paul George was pathetic. How did he not make this list?
Good point. Well, because of the defense.
Oh, because he had 3 blocks and 2 steals.
Yeah, the defense. He did. He's been pretty good with the defense.
Paul George was horrible. And shout out Obi Toppin, man. You picked him the other night. You're like, I just got a feeling. It's a revenge game. And he was a dud. But then literally the very next game, he plays the game of his life, man. You just missed it by 24 hours.
Yep,
so close.
That's what happened, dude. Dude, he had 31 and 10 with 6 threes, man. What the hell? Disappointing for me here on this massive Wednesday night. Victor Wembanyama, Doc. I had San Antonio plus the 8 tonight, and Victor wasn't good. He got outplayed by Porzingis tonight. 17-13 with 2 blocks from Wemby. Frankly, one of his worst games in a long time. Porzingis had 29 with 6 rebounds and a block. Anthony Edwards was dreadful tonight, okay? 28, 7, and 4 was his PRA, which is really good, obviously, but he shot 10 of 33. What the F, dude? 10 of 33. My God. And Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is a waiver wire guy, folks. Drop him. He had 13 points on 4 of 12. He is hurting your team, not helping your team. So Doc and I will be back on Thursday night, folks, at 11 p.m. Eastern time to break down the 5-game slate of games coming up on Thursday. We'll also look ahead to the All-Star break a little bit. A couple of reminders here before we get out of here. Folks, we want you to subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast and leave us a 5-star review. Subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel and give us this video a thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. Go to sportsethos.com, subscribe to our work over there, and check out our MLB draft guide. I will be a part of it. I print championships in fantasy baseball. We've got a bunch of great writers, and we're going to help you win championships in that realm as well. For Andre Lemouche, for the Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, I am Rick Kamla. We are done. We have wrapped up the biggest night in the regular season. We will see you soon. And a reminder, this episode's been brought to you by Bet Online. Peace.